Hello, today we're going to talk to you about a topic that some students find cumbersome, sometimes boring. They may watch the clock pass and it just doesn't quite go fast enough. And this topic is research.
Let's start by asking a question. What if research could open the door to a whole new world?
Just like we have a surfer that surfs the waves, we also use the internet to surf for information. So you may ask yourself questions like, hey, how do I get from point A to point B?
Like the internet is a handy tool to find answers to many of life's questions, research is a strategy to answer more scientific questions, and the internet can be a medium to assist with accomplishing that. You may find yourself sitting down at your desk, searching the web to look for answers for questions. Maybe as an online student, you spend a lot of time at your desk on your computer searching the web. Well, just like you search the web for those answers, research provides a strategy to uncover the answers to some of life's more scientific questions.
So you're sitting in class and a professor asks you to think about research and how to use it more specifically. So there's different examples that your professor may go through. So if you have one person and want to conduct an experiment, then you could use single case design. If you have a psychoeducational group and want to know if that group makes a difference, you could use pre-post test design. If you want to know if that group is better for treatment as usual or a control group, you could use pre-post test with a control group.
Let's explore another question. How do you open the door to the world of research? If we're going to start surfing the web, just think about what might you surf the web for. For example, are you interested in topics like, is social media bad for your brain? Or how about, how do I successfully survive a research class?
There are a few different steps to consider when going through this. Step one would be to just go through the process of inquiry.
Yes, you've identified a question. So you've got to identify a question. How about, what does it take to successfully survive a research class? Next, you might want to peruse library databases, look at Google Scholar to see what's currently written on the topic, and look for a gap where the scientific community says we have some evidence, but more is needed.
Now you're starting to make progress and moving up to your second step. So we've started with inquiry, and now we're starting to really think about conceptualizing the issue and the research that we're trying to identify. So then we start looking at the literature and find that there's a specific gap that we're trying to fill. So we edit our research question so it can be measured and researched in our third step.
So in this step, we have to start thinking about how can we quantify this research question of successfully surviving a research class. We could measure with numbers quantitatively or qualitatively with words. We could count hours studied, pages read, or words written. Qualitatively, we could ask open-ended questions like, what helped you to be successful in this class?
So next time you're sitting in class and you're really starting to think about, how can I be successful here? Maybe some of these thoughts will start coming into mind. So I can start looking at the quantitative and do a survey on how much time people spent who successfully completed the course, how much time they spent reading the textbooks, or just engaging in that class throughout the course of the semester.
So if you were thinking about this research question, you might be thinking, okay, now I need to get the tools that I need to be able to know how to put together a quantitative research survey and how to conduct that survey.
So just like a hammer drives nails and a screwdriver drives screws, what tools do I need?
So adding the right tools are going to help us move from concept to completion, from that point of inquiry to completing the research project. So what tools do we need? Well, we'll need some textbooks. SPSS is a handy software that allows us to do statistical analysis. Although it's not required for the research research course, some students may enjoy getting to learn SPSS so that SPSS can calculate all the stats for you. A decision tree that helps guide me in terms of what research design to use in which situation, and my research course to help pave the way.
Ciao. It's time to let the studies